Let's put together a Draftkings lineup. The weather's going to be pretty good this week, so we won't have to worry about any bad weather, which is awesome. So let's get to it with the quarterbacks. We'll start out with the Cincinnati at Washington game. It has a low over under, but Vegas thinks it's going to be a close game. I am going to pick the over in this game, and I'm going to side with the Cincinnati side. So for this lineup, I'm going to roster Joe Burrow. I'm going to pair him with two of his wide receivers. His main wide receiver, Boyd, or you can call him 1A, and Green. Green is amongst the air yard leaders. Plus, his price point is the lowest it has been all year. He's averaged 5 targets per game the last 2 games. But prior to that, you see he's gotten double-digit targets. I don't think he'll get double-digit targets here, but if he can get close to it, say in the 8 to 9 range, he'll have a pretty good chance to pay off the $3,600 price tag. To complete the stack, let's talk about an opponent we can stack this with. On the other side, I'm going to go ahead and go with J.D. McKissick. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game than what Vegas thinks. I think that Washington is going to be trailing, and they're going to be in comeback mode most of the game. And if that occurs, McKissick should have a pretty high target value, especially with Alex Smith throwing him the ball. The last 2 games, he's averaged 14 and a half targets. So I don't know if he's going to average that again this week, but I could see him getting 10 or so. And if he gets there, I think he'll have a chance to hit his price tag. 5,200 still too cheap for him. All right, to move on, let's go ahead and continue on with running back. I'm going to do a mini stack here. I want to have a piece of a game that has a higher over-under. The other game I'd like to target would be the Green Bay Indianapolis game. The over-under there is 54 and a half. It's tied for the second highest, or actually the highest over-under of the week. So on the Indianapolis side, I don't have any player that I have any belief in, except for one. That would be Hines. Naheem Hines, $5,200. I think this game will hit the over 2. I believe that Indianapolis will be trailing in this game. And for me, that just means more passes to Hines. You look at the past few weeks, it's been decent target value here. If you exclude week 9, he's gotten at least 5 targets per game in the last 4 weeks. Last 3 weeks. To complete the mini stack here, I'm going to stack him with the best wide receiver in the game, Devontae Adams. He scored 19 points last game. But if you look at his target share, it hasn't wavered. He's gotten at least 11 targets per game in the last 4 weeks. This game hits the over. I can see a possibility for multiple touchdowns, and if that happens, he's going to be closer to 30 points as opposed to 20. Tight end, I'm going to go with TJ Hawkinson. If you look at NFL Savant, if you check out the target leaders on the Detroit Lions team, it's Hawkinson. He's also the leader in red zone targets for the team. They're playing Carolina, a team that can't defend anything. The run, the pass to wide receivers or tight ends. So sign me up there. Flex, I'm going to go with the best running back in the game. Dalvin Cook. He's going against Dallas. They are heavily favored, which should lend to a very good game script for Dalvin Cook, and he's coming off of a game that's beneath his status. 15 points here. I think this would be a nice bounce back spot for him. To finish out this lineup, we're going to go with the Browns defense. They're going to be playing against Philly. Philly, their quarterback, Wentz, is amongst the leaders in turnovers, interceptions, fumbles, and he takes a lot of sacks. So I'm going to take a chance on the Browns.